Hi everyone, I would like to welcome you back to our channel. We're still in our series entitled Relationship Sacrifices, and today we're going to be discussing compromising relationships. Before we get started, I want to make sure you follow us on all of our social media platforms. The links are in the description. Also, don't forget to click, subscribe, tap the notification bell so you know when we post, and click the like button and comment to join the conversation. So grab a snack and a drink and let's get into the conversation.
So do you think that compromise is like the right word for it? Because I think that the word compromise is so harsh sometimes that you think, oh, I got to give this up to, do this. I think there's another word that
When
maybe
I think of
might
compromise, I think of two people. I think of compromise as we're discussing the best route. It's not like we're changing. We're having discussion on what we should do, not just I'm going to decide. Compromise is I give some, you give some, and we decide together. That's how I take compromise.
I'm feeling a part two in this conversation.
We do. Maybe three or four.
Well, I feel like this. To me, compromise means to me. Like, I give you an example. Like in my relationship, me taking trips was an issue. Not me taking trips was an issue, but you know how you try to save for your future and stuff like that, and that's money that can be put in savings. But this is something that made me happy. I love to travel. I like to explore different states, mainly the beach in Florida. But anyways, but it would like a compromise to me, or the discussion that we had to have was, it's not like, no, Dominique, you can't take any trips anymore. It's like, okay, try not to go on 10. Let's cut it down to maybe 4 or 5.
Yeah.
And to me, it's like, okay, I still can do what I want to do, but at the same time, it makes you happy because I'm not doing it as much, and that's more money that we can pay back. So
that's what I say. Compromise is like a give and take. Yeah,
I agree, but compromise is one of those touchy words, kind of like submission. Submission, and that might be a topic that we need to talk about later.
Yeah.
A lot of people, when they talk about compromise and they talk about submission, they always think of the negative things. They think about what society kind of puts as being submissive as well as being a compromise. They always think of it as a negative term. When you're in a relationship, you have to do both. And it's not just one, and it's really not just one person doing both. It's both of you. I mean, you both. I know our pastor is talking about right now. He's doing a series. Shout out to Pastor Conway at One Community. He's doing a series right now talking about marriage, and he's talking about how the importance of it not only being about you. And that's what a lot of people go into a lot of relationships and a lot of marriages thinking only about them, instead of thinking about, if you're actually thinking about your significant other and not just yourself. I mean, you have to think about yourself to a certain degree, but you have to think about your significant other as well. But it's both of you doing that. That's how you'll have something that's going to be long going and happy.
And I think that's how you find that balance as well, is because if your significant other sees you like faltering, falling off, or not giving yourself enough time, they're like, okay, look, baby, you need some time. Like, I got this. I need you to be you, because I don't want to lose my best friend. Exactly. Regardless of what kind of relationship you are in.
Yeah, and that's what you'll see. Like, if it's y'all both are thinking about each other, he's not gonna let you fall off. He's gonna be like, baby, I want you to go and get your nails done. I want you to go and get a massage. I want you to do this, because I think it's a difference in a relationship like your boyfriend or your girlfriend and your husband. Like, it's a totally different thing, because I would feel like I would require more of my husband than I would my boyfriend. You know what I mean? So when it came down to, if he was my husband, then I'm gonna require him, and he would require more of me, versus he's just my boy. Because what grandma said, Joseph, grandma said he's a much right man. Until he you married to get that ring on your finger. He can leave you at any time, and you can leave him. And so
another thing I've heard a few times, you're single until you're married. So it's like, and I think some people take offense to that, but you have to pay attention to what they're saying in that. There's a lot that goes into that.
That's a conversation within itself. Like, I feel like this, and I feel like something that should have been on that meme is communication, because that is huge.
Yes.
If you can't communicate, how can you compromise? How can you make it work? Communication is huge. It is. And I feel like this as well. I just wanted to say that before I forgot it. But with the single situation, I totally agree, because like you can be with the person, but you're mentally different when it comes to what single means, what dating means, what relationship actually means, you know, what marriage means, what engagement means. So I just feel like that's a conversation that need to be had.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, but in the Bible, I don't hear, you know, God saying anything in regards to relationships. You're always hearing about marriage, you know, finding that perfect one or what have you. But like in our type of society, we got boyfriend, girlfriend, you know, fiance, which that is a process of getting married, but it's like, okay, so you're boyfriend and girlfriend, but you want marriage
benefits.
Yeah, marriage benefits, but you're boyfriend and girlfriend.
Yeah.
But, you know, and that goes back to knowing what type of guy that you're actually dealing with. Like, you know, how women be like, oh, well, I ain't gonna cook. I'm not gonna do none of this until I'm married. But if you're dating a guy and that's his background and you know that's something that he likes, go ahead and give it to him. That's something he used to, you know. But people, they don't.
Sometimes. Because I don't think you should overextend it.
Hold on, let me correct.
That comfortable thing gets into it.
Yeah, like not all the time, but you know, you can show him that is something that you can provide. Now, he can't come in the door and be like, hey, where my food at? Like, no, we're not doing that. No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. You're doing it out of the goodness out of your heart, not because of the environment. Yeah.
And I'm sorry. And I want to thank you because I didn't have to do it, right? I'm just saying
that's the whole thing. Very true.
Yeah. That is a conversation.
I'm just saying you just gotta communicate those things because you just
and I think that, like, I agree with Anisha. I think communication is a really big thing. And like like me and Jessica, us being sisters, that's like something, even though we were raised in the same house and we clash because we view things differently. So you would think that if two sisters who love each other, who grew up with each other, who have the same values would clash, you would just imagine like a whole person who was raised differently than you.
Yeah.
You know, how they would clash.
Yeah, that's a whole nother conversation too.
It is.
Them sisters, they cat right there sometimes, right there, right there. Some people like, stop.
I agree, girl. But that was a really good meme. That it's amazing how. But I think it's just the world and society now how we view love. Because that's a good one too, is what is your definition of love? Like, what is love to you? You know, because everybody sees love different. Like, what is marriage to you? What do you want out of marriage? What do you want out of marriage? Because everybody wants, you know, different things.
Right.
So that's a really big thing, you know.
Yeah, and now they have it where, you know, I feel like it consists of a lot. Like you have to be business partners. You have to be in love. You have to choose each other every day. You have to lift each other every day. I mean, it's just, it's a lot.
That's what my mom always told us. She was like, be with a man who wants the same thing as you.
That's right.
That's more important because sometimes you may feel like you don't like that person. Like you might wake up and can't even stand the way he looked, the way his breath smelled. But if y'all want the same thing, I'm just being serious. But when you want the same thing, You know, you dated somebody and you was in love with him 1 minute and then he did something, you be like, I can't even understand why I'm with you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm sure he did the same thing about me because I can have a mouth. But like, if y'all want the same thing, like y'all want the same outcome in life, y'all gonna keep striving toward it versus, you know, y'all just in love. Because in love,
I also
you were saying earlier about bringing the best out of each other. You know what I mean? And I mean, this is a subject, honey.
But you have to know yourself and love yourself before you can actually help bring the best out of somebody else, you know. And that's a subject too.
Yep.
If you don't love
and sometimes you might not even know that you're bringing just being yourself can bring out the best of somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
So that can be powerful as well. I'm sorry, Vanessa. I interrupted you earlier, or you interrupted me. I apologize.
She talked about exes, and I remember somebody saying that you can. They say you can tell someone's mental health placement by looking at the exes where they were.
Oh God!
And I was like, ooh.
I'm glad I've grown.
I know, me too.
I'm glad I've grown.
Like if you think about it, you're like, you know, ooh.
No, I disagree with that, baby, because my ex-girlfriend ain't who I am today. I'm
right, but you know, then the place that you were in then, like it showed.
I still don't agree though.
I feel like
wild moment.
I think like some of the guys that I dated, like they would ask me directly, "What do you want in a man?" And then when I tell them what I want, they act like what I say I want.
Yeah.
So they're not really who they are. And so when the real them start coming out, then I'll be like, oh, so you really weren't that person that I was saying that I want.
Exactly.
That's why like when guys now like, what do you want in a man? Oh, somebody love the Lord. That's it. You know what I mean? Just figure it out. Get to know me. Spend some time with me and you will find out. But like, dude, straight up, you'll be like, oh, I want this in a man and I want this. And they'll be like, I do this.
I'll say the core or nothing at all.
Yeah. And I'll go into details.
Yeah, be a mystery.
Yeah, and I feel like apparently you was something that drew. I'm sorry.
No, I'm saying that's something we always do. We always, you know, in the beginning, we always tell everything that we like. It's like, start with a list of stuff you don't like. And then
Thank you for watching today's episode. If you haven't had the opportunity, check out episode 1, What is Compromising Really? And stay on the lookout for part 3 of this series. Until next time, bye!